morning, everybody. Lynn, the Leather Bag Lady here. How are you all today on this gloomy Thursday Leather Bag Lady weather report? It's very damp. It's a very Glasgow day today, but getting rid of all the snow. Hopefully, we are expecting a few flurries maybe over the weekend, just in time for us to move, of course. But hopefully it won't be too bad. And the warmer weather, it's on its way. We had a beautiful day. Tuesday, I think, was a gorgeous day. I sat out on the deck and had a little bit of thinking time. My feet were so sore from, being on my feet all day, moving and packing up and everything. I had to take a load off, basically, and sat on the deck for a little bit. So today is a very gloomy, kind of damp old day, but you know what? Who cares? So today's item is something that I have not listed in quite a while because I didn't think I had any more of them. But I found a lawn bag, not full of them, but there's maybe half a dozen day timers. I absolutely love these day timers. I have a little bit of an obsession with all things stationery. The paper, the stickers, the compartment folders. I love it. I love it. And this is a whole thing. There is a whole culture that is all things organizers, travel. A travel pouch or something. There's a name for this kind of system that people set up. I went down a rabbit hole with this a couple of years ago on YouTube, and I truly would love to be that girl that has the appointments all sorted and stickers, and I love it. Love it. All the dividers and the sparkly, and I just love it. But it's just not me. I am not a finicky person in that regard, but I love it. So when you come across these vintage 80s leather-bound day timers, that seems to be just a subsection of that culture that's out there making beautiful pieces of art out of some of these organizers. Now, this is a Franklin Quest, which is kind of a big gun. There's Ben Franklin on the zipper pull. There's the makers, where is it? I don't know if you're going to be able to see it. Franklin Quest. So this is kind of the Cadillac of these organizers. Inserts are absolutely still available on Franklin West's website, on Amazon. You can get some really cool categories of inserts now. Absolutely amazing. It's like I said, it's a whole world. You know, you've got these moms that are organizing their recipes, organizing their crafts, their knitting, their wine clubs, their book clubs, all in these beautiful organizers. And the fact that, these vintage ones are out there, I used to find them quite regularly. I must admit, I don't really look anymore because they're so heavy. And this one is not too bad because it's a bigger size. I think it's 11 inches tall by 8.5 wide. So it's kind of a regular paper size. And it's not that heavy actually. But once you get into the because there's no inserts in it, because most of the ones I've sold so far, I've managed to find inserts for them. So this one doesn't have any available, and that's why it's not quite so heavy. So the shipping is a little bit crazy for these, but they're fantastic. If you are in that kind of category of loving all things stationery, all things organizing, stickers and fancy little bits, go on YouTube and just check it out. it will, the markers and the sparkly pen, like you will lose your mind. You really will. So that is today's item. So it's been a few days since I've chatted with you. Getting to the end of this ordeal now. We're getting, well, we move in this weekend. So Pius took tomorrow off. So probably won't chat with you tomorrow. Going to be way too busy. I do have my clients. But we are getting to the point now where we can, we're moving into this house. Pius's lease is up the 31st. And we're out of here. So there's still a lot to do. And I must say, I am getting to the end of my ability to deal with it because I don't get a break from it. I'm either here staring at everything that needs to be done, or I'm in my house staring at everything that needs to be done. I mean, Pius, God bless him. I mean, he goes to work. It's on his mind, but it's kind of out of sight, out of mind a little bit, I think. He has a lot of think time, when he's driving and whatever. So, but it's not staring him in the face. It's not, I find it very overwhelming. I've been keeping my lists, which I made this morning. I've been up since 10 to 5 and, did a little workout, probably the last workout in the basement before all the equipment one piece of equipment comes upstairs and I take all my weights back home. And it's just getting to the end now. Not loving it anymore. We've been getting pictures from the neighbors again of these kids parking in the driveway, but hopefully that'll all change once we're in the house, because there'll be a car there all the time. And I just hope to God that I settle down. Because I know Pius is getting frustrated with me because I don't have anything positive to say about the house. And, he's taken it a little personally from time to time. And I guess that's only natural. But I've tried to assure him that it has absolutely nothing to do with him. It's like a marriage. If you've had a bad marriage for years and years and then you try and reconnect, it's almost impossible to do. Too much water under the bridge, too many harsh things said, too many experiences you just cannot forget. And that's exactly what's going on with my house. I want a divorce from my house. I really do. But I do appreciate that financially, it does not make any sense. But it almost makes me feel trapped. And I felt very trapped for a lot of years. And, being single and not being able to find somebody, and then financially not being able to have the freedom to do anything. It's kind of putting me back where I was mentally a little bit before I met Pius. And I'm trying to get my brain back so that Pius and I can continue to grow together in our relationship, which, is not even a year old yet. We're coming up for a year, but not quite. And sometimes he has a hard time, maybe understanding, that, I don't want stress stuff. And I mean, when you own a home, it's always stress. Now, it will be much better moving forward because Pius, he knows what he can do and he knows what he can't. Electrical and all that kind of stuff is not his thing. But anything, and he has such a engineer's brain. Like if there's something technical that I need to, creative, I say maybe my genre. But technical, like even yesterday, we had a friend of Pius's come to collect some of the woodworking equipment that he was selling. And we needed to get 5 pieces of equipment on the back of a pickup truck, which Pius and I pretty well did ourselves. This gentleman was not healthy enough. I don't know who he thought was going to lift that stuff onto the back of the truck. The fairies? I don't know. Pius is a beast. He is not a tall man, but he has the strength of 5 men, I'm telling you. He lifted most of this stuff by himself. I was there to, kind of hold it up, stop it from falling off the back of the pickup or whatever. He amazes me. He just is a tank. Like, he just doesn't. And I mean, this gentleman is the same age as Pius, give or take 4 or 5 months. And I mean, he was, God bless him, like ready for a wheelchair. Like, Pius. Anyway, it's going to be easier moving forward, but I was starting to get my kind of, I don't know what the word would be. I was starting to get a little bit of enthusiasm back for the house. And then when these kids moved in the front, at that point, it would have been lawyer time. As I said, ready to divorce my house. But hopefully we will, in the next year or two, get a little, cabin or trailer or something, so that come the weekends in the better months, it's like, see ya. And that's our happy place, because it will never be my house. It will never be. And that is just unfortunate. And I know Pius gets frustrated with me, but it will never be. So I want to get back to kind of that easy breezy attitude that we had when we first met. And I mean, I know I'm not a dummy. I know that, relationships move forward, but I want to protect our happy at all costs. And I understand the financial implications of living in this house, and that is the only reason that I am willing to live in this house. I came across the book that I had started a couple of years ago for my van journeys. Like, I was selling my house, I was buying a trailer, and I was hoping there would be enough money for a van. So summer months would be in Ontario in a trailer full time, and then winter months would be down south in my van. And when COVID hit, the prices went so stupid that wasn't going to happen. But now, I mean, we're looking at trailers just for shits and giggles. And I mean, there are absolutely stunning trailers in place for 30 to 55,000. Decks, sheds, everything comes with it, and they are beautiful. And in my favorite place, Dunnville. So it would have been very achievable. So I'm trying to, not make Pius feel like I've regretted, my relationship with him, because absolutely not. But also to help him understand that I don't think I'm willing to give all of my plans up that I had made for myself. I'm watching Bethany Frankel from Housewives of New York. I've given up a bunch of my channels on Prime just because financially it just doesn't make sense. And we've been spending way too much money on stupid shit. So we had a little bit of my ring is just, I don't think I've lost weight. I mean, it's just spinning like crazy. Anyway, I digress. So I've been watching this Bethany Gets Married, or Bethany Forever Bethany, or Bethany Ever After, or whatever. And, she's met this man, they get married, have a baby, all within the first year. We're not having any babies, I can guarantee you that. But, we will be married very shortly after our 1-year anniversary. And it's not looking so rosy anymore. And I just think we don't have those stresses. I mean, when you sell Skinny Girl Margarita for $100 million, oh, what a stress, right? But I do understand that with money comes issues. And Pius and I have talked about that. It's almost like the more options you have, the more problems you have. I mean, when I was in my house and did not have any money to do anything, it wasn't even a consideration because I didn't have the money. Now we're trying to make decisions on what the best use of what money we have is going to be, because moving into my house is going to free up a lot of finances for more so Pius than me. But now, what do we do with that money? And we've not been very smart with it so far, because it's been a couple of months since, Pius has had to come up with the ridiculous amount of money this house here has cost him monthly. And, we've not really been very smart. So I want to nip that in the butt, because that is a slippery slope that both of us are guilty of going down. I am better with my money than Pius is, I think. Sorry, baby cakes, but I am. But not much better. So between the two of us, we've kind of regrouped a little bit. But it doesn't make me want to live where I live any more than it did 2 years ago, 3 years ago. So I'm hoping that we can kind of meet each other in the middle. Pius is not a big fan of the trailer park life, just because there's a lot of drama that can come with trailer parks. I know that firsthand. My couple of years with Bruce, there was a lot of drama, not so much the first year, but towards the end of the second year, it got a little silly. So I'm glad I experienced that, because now I know what it's about and how easy it is to get sucked into drama. And, we've talked about it quite a bit, because I'm pretty certain that this is something I'm not going to give up on. It is something I wanted. I found my journal that I started that was going to map out my journey across Canada into the States. And I had researched all the value villages, all the gyms, so that I could, have somewhere to shower every day. And I mean, it would have been a shit show during COVID, that's for sure. But I found it all today, actually, this morning. And I was like, I'm not, I'm happy where my life is and happy to have Pius in it and all that stuff. But there's parts of it that I still want to experience. And if we don't like it and it's not something that works for us, then we will move on. But I have to experience it. I have to do it to either enjoy it and embrace it and build it into something that we can enjoy as a couple, or get it out of my system and it's gone and I never think of it again. It's like I had a store for a while and I immediately knew it wasn't what I wanted, and I've never thought of it since. So that's kind of, either way, it'll be a win-win. If we manage to figure it out, it'll be awesome. If we don't, I will shut my mouth about it, and poor Pius will be probably a lot calmer because of it, because he's so easygoing. And under these times of stress, I just ramp right up. So anyway, oh my goodness, 18 minutes in. I think it's the longest one yet. Anyway, if you're still with me, everybody, thank you, thank you, thank you. Probably won't speak to you till next week now, I don't think. But anyway, have a great, great weekend, and I will speak to you from the house next week. Bye.